Deborah Peters is 15 and a survivor of Boko Haram's terror. Her brother and father were killed in front of her. She escaped captivity from Boko Haram over a year ago.
So they go ahead and shoot him again, one in his mouth, and then he fall down and died. So I was in shock. I didn't know what was happening. So so they put me in the middle of my dad and my brother. So the next day, the army came and picked them to the mortuary and take me to hospital.
Deborah is from Chibok in northeastern Nigeria. Boko Haram abducted some 300 schoolgirls just like her a month ago from their school in Chibok. Emmanuel Ogebe says the Islamic militants were once known as gentlemen terrorists because they targeted young men and not women or the elderly.
Boko Haram said, we don't kill women, we don't attack women. That changed last month.
Emmanuel Ogebe recently returned from a fact-finding mission to the region.
And so we have a situation where there's an ineffective military response to terrorism. Then there's an ineffective humanitarian response to the victims of the terrorism. And we're at a point now where the international community needs to respond effectively to what is going on in Nigeria.
Since 2011, attacks by the radical Islamists have killed over 1,000 Nigerian civilians. Boko Haram, a Hausa phrase meaning Western education is a sin, is responsible for bombings and burnings of homes, villages, churches, and schools. Abubakar Shaku, leader of Boko Haram, boasted responsibility for the kidnappings in northeastern Nigeria last week. Boko Haram is headquartered in Maiduguri. In a video release, Boko Haram offered to trade the girls for imprisoned militants. The Nigerian government says it is exploring all options aimed at finding the girls. The U.S. has a team of law enforcement, military, and other personnel on the ground in the region, helping the Nigerian government search for the missing girls. Many analysts say the Nigerian government has been too passive and is unable to stem the rising terrorism from Boko Haram, in part because the militants are more resilient, better fed, and better armed than the government's forces. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry.
We will make every effort possible in order to help free those young women. And we are there helping to do that now. I'm not going to discuss what mechanism or methodology may or may not be used in order to do so, except to say that we are committed to this effort, together with, I think, decent and civilized people all around the world who think this is a barbaric, horrendous act against the conscience of people everywhere. And so the President has all options with respect to the future. We're dealing with the government of another country. That's always got its diplomatic requirements.
In addition to personnel, the U.S. is contributing small aircraft, satellite, and surveillance assistance to the effort. Meanwhile, international outrage is growing with daily Bring Our Girls Back campaigns worldwide.
I hope if people hear my story, I think they will understand and they will know more and more of what God said, and they will understand what it means to stand strong.
Deborah Peters says her challenge now is to stand strong.
Thank you, David.
Paul Sisco, VOA News.